Just rest. Gently noticing what it's like to be in this field with this community. And if possible, to be noticing gently without any special way that it should be, but just a gentle feeling in, recognizing that there's awareness here in which everything's appearing. Just recognizing too that who you already are. You're not going to become more you. There's just an opportunity as we rest together for, you could say, automatic unconscious patterns that are playing to become conscious, to become seen and explored into. And you're welcome, if speaking wants to happen, to speak about anything. And you don't have to invent something to speak about. You're welcome to just sit quietly and just see what happens as our systems gently meet each other.
Hi, Isaac. Shall I start then?
Surely. Mm. Thanks, Judith.
Thank you, Isaac. I actually also have a question.
Sure.
I am wondering, I hear you speaking some words here and there about the corona time and virus. And so I'm not sure, and I'm curious about what your deeper stand of point of view is about the whole situation we are in.
Yeah. To me, it feels like we find ourselves with a political system and an economic system that's not planet friendly, not life friendly, not human friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it feels like it's, it's been bought and sold. Big business. Maybe not true all over the world, but certainly in a lot of parts of the world, big business is controlling the dialogue. And somewhere I'm looking to see how we can learn from it all to come up with a new paradigm. One, because I've seen even in our community, like in the retreats, when some people want a window open and some people don't, how quickly it dissolves into a split, yeah? So I know it's not easy to get clear information at this point. But to me, when I look rationally at what's going on, and I see that this way of going about this whole story wow, it's going to have huge, it's not going to, it is already having huge repercussions. And as I've been looking around, I see that actually there are other points of view about how to deal with it, including some, in my view, quite well-informed points of view.
Can you speak more about it?
As soon as you mention them, then it's like somehow you put in the basket of being a conspiracy theorist, even to speak about that the political system and the money system isn't human friendly and it's corrupt. You get marginalized and put into that basket. So it's very tricky how to have a conversation around it because it's so loaded. And when you start looking at the whole vaccination story, and that in fact our bodies usually develop immunity from being exposed to something, but not having it injected into our bloodstream. So there's some people that are in that field that say that's wrong, basically. And what we have at the moment, and I think you can fact check this, is that at least in the United States, but I think pretty much all over the world, vaccine makers are exempt from any liability. You cannot sue them. and there's no real control over what's in the vaccines. And in many countries, you can't send your kids to school if they haven't been vaccinated. In Australia, you can't get money from the government if you're a single parent and your kids aren't vaccinated. And to me, all of that is completely wrong, just to say it like that. So for the West, we have homes. Oh no, not everyone in the West, but a lot of people have decent homes to be quarantined. Sure, it has implications for the economy. But I've seen some professors say that actually for a bronchial virus, the best thing is to be outdoors, and we've been kept indoors. But for third world countries, which is like I'd say 2/3 of the population on the planet, to be quarantined, where there's no government bailouts, where people are losing their jobs, to me, it's a recipe for disaster. It's certainly not in tune and not finding a good way through for the majority of people. So that's how I see it. And I could be wrong, but it's just, it's one perspective. I could say it like that. But the moment I bring it, it's so interesting to see how volatile it is. Man, people tell me that I'm going to be responsible for millions of people dying. How dare I, as a spiritual, in my position, to spread such bullshit and all this stuff. It's interesting just how much projection happens. And then the other side of people who are quite emotional on the other side that, yeah, well, this is true. And it's like, that how to find a conversation in the middle where we just kind of looking intelligently and seeing, well, how do we move forward in this? From what I've heard and seen, that most people actually have very little symptoms. And I've seen everything ranging from that this kind of virus actually only gets transmitted through injection. It doesn't get transmitted through the air. And there's I just posted a link on that where this woman is, man, I'd say so super well informed. She's been in that industry. She's worked on, and that's what she says. But who knows? Again, how do we fact check this stuff? It's very difficult. And then you get someone like Vandana Shiva, who, for me, I really deeply respect, talking about Monsanto and Bill Gates and what they're doing in the third world countries. And, it's been branded as philanthropy, but I'm not sure. So that's where we find ourselves.
Yes, but I really hope that we can speak openly about it, that you feel also that you can speak about it here in our community. That we can find a space where we just, we don't know, but let's look at all the different sides and investigate
even amongst this community, it's not easy to speak because there are such strong, volatile feelings around it that it's like this whole thing of, if you go outside, you could kill people. What makes more sense to me is that the people that are vulnerable should be quarantined, and everybody else should go about their business and just be aware of the people that are susceptible, and for people to see for themselves. But anyway, that's just an opinion. Yeah, and so we here watching this movie unfold. And, we've seen how there's a lobby to get people vaccinated and chipped, or vaccinated and tattooed before you can get another driver license, before you can travel, which is actually unconstitutional. It's not legal, but there's a push for it. And there's an age-old strategy, you could say, of getting people scared enough, they'll agree to anything.
That's true.
And when you get all the networks blasting out one message, and the networks are owned, it's not news, it's spin. I get suspicious. So that's where I sit with it. You don't need to agree with me to be my friend.
No, but I like to hear you speaking more from the depth of where you are in this, because I heard some more the superficial point of views, but then I don't get a really depth feeling where you are in this. And so I like to have an open conversation. That is a possibility to look at all the different sides without taking a stand or point of view, but just be sensitive and open in this whole thing, what is going on, and also to bring in the human heart and the compassion for also the suffering for people that is happening, and the shock for people that are losing their parents in a short time. You know, the people on the front that must have so much images on their eyes and not being able to digest it because they need to continue. So I really would love also to hold them all and to hold this all, what is going on, and be compassionate also in that.
It is such a big conversation, you know. It's like really, it's huge, and every year thousands of people die from flu. Every 2 seconds someone dies of hunger, but we don't address that. More people are dying of hunger, but this has now become the focus.
Yes.
So it's
and
not
at the
rational.
same time, I heard here in Holland over the last month, normally it's like 3,000 people a month that are dying, but now it's 2,000 more because of the corona. So, you know, it is also a fact. It's happening. And we don't know, you know, all those figures, even that, you know, we don't know.
We don't know. That's the other difficulty, is because we're not sure how the figures are getting reported.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't. So anyway, we find ourselves in a very, you know, like, and how could I say, we never really know what's going, but we hear.
Yes. And that's why we are here and what we love the most. So it's
Indeed.
especially in this time, more than ever, be with what you love the most.
No doubt.
Here we are. So thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'll move this down a bit.
Hans-Peter would like to speak.
Oh, with pleasure.
Hans-Peter, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Hans-Peter. When we rest together like this, Hans-Peter, what do you notice?
Yes, yes, I can hear, but I have a difficult transmission here.
Okay.
I'm here with Hannelore.
Mhm.
She left me in November.
Mhm.
She was always with you.
Yeah.
Now I am.
And your mind is with her now, in this moment. You're very with her.
Yes, I feel it.
Yeah. And when you feel the love that you have with her, how does that feel? Without
Feels,
a thought. Yeah. How does that feel? The depth of
I
love that
feel
you
it
feel.
very strong.
Yeah,
I
and
feel
how
it
does that
very
feel?
strong.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, beautiful, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And then the thought comes that she's gone.
Yeah,
And that thought is what causes the suffering.
yes,
If you with a direct experience, it's love.
true.
Mhm. And the gift that she has given you is has brought you into this interest and into connecting with the people that for her were important, which is a big gift in my view.
Yes, without her, I wouldn't have come to you.
Exactly, exactly.
And the people.
Yeah, yeah. This whole community.
Yes,
Mhm.
they hold me.
Yeah, of course. And you enjoy the love that you have with her. You enjoy it.
Yes, I do.
And don't believe your thoughts. Stay with the direct feeling of the love, if it's possible. When we are simply here, present together, is there a problem? No. Yeah. It's beautiful to see, Hans Peter.
Thank you, Isaac.
Oh, thank you. Mm. And thanks for bringing Hannelore here.
Yes,
She's in my heart also. Not the same way as for you, but we had, we explored deeply together in the most gentle and beautiful way over the years, many years. And you know yourself what a deep being she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you, Hans-Peter. Yeah.
So Claire would like to speak. I will unmute you, Claire. And you can speak now, if you like.
Yes. Let me see if I can find Claire. Claire, can you just raise your hand or somewhere that I can see you so I can pin your video?
Hi. Can you see me waving?
Yes. Oh, perfect.
I don't know where I am on your screen.
Oops, no, that's I got the wrong one. There, I can see you now. Claire, sorry.
Yeah.
I got it. Thank you.
Hmm.
Just letting everything be like it is and resting. I mean, really deep resting. It's okay if the nervous system is kind of excited or anything. It's fine. But just that we gentle with it and no pressure to be any particular way, just allowing. Mm. We're all surfing a lot at the moment, you know. Mm.
Hmm.
Thank you for taking a few moments just to rest with me. Yeah.
Hmm. My system is savoring. It's
I can feel it's beautiful.
it's lovely. It's yeah.
Mm.
Mm. I mean, for me, it's been a long time since I've sat opposite you, and
Mm.
yeah, I used to in Germany, probably 8 years ago. I don't know, 10 years ago, and as always, it's a beautiful feeling, and not one I take for granted. So my
Yeah.
system is yeah, is yeah, I don't know. It's just like, woo. It wants to stretch out.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I don't know what else needs to happen, but it's just yeah, it's
Yeah.
breath.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. And what you were saying before about, resting in that feeling of love.
Mm.
Recently, I sort of come across pictures of like my ex-husband when we were happy, different relationships where, really close and connected, where, there really was a wonderful, beautiful sensation of connectedness and love with another person. And part of me feels like, oh, it would be nice to put that where I can see it, where I'm embodying again this love. Yeah. And then the mind comes in and says, oh, car crash, car crash, car crash. But then they weren't necessarily car crashes. That purity and that genuineness of that connection. Yeah, it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
yeah, so how to bring that with me.
You know, what's interesting to explore, my sense is that love flow that happens there's a way in which there's a recognition, it's an unconditional flow, it's just love flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, though, our mind wants to find a cause or wants to put it somewhere. And that's where some of the difficulty starts. But in truth, we love to love. And I would say our nature is that unconditional presence that just is flowing. But we have certain habits of attention that produce a sense of separation and fear and scarcity and the sense of me and all of that stuff. And when life looks through those conditioned filters, it's a very different view.
At the moment, I sort of feel released from that sort of yearning for someone. So
Yeah, how beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, you know, of course, we love touch and we love, but you know, at this moment we are being touched, in a sense, through the senses with totality.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we are, you know, we at some point, at some level, we apes, and we love that touch and community and all that stuff. And yeah, our society hasn't moved in that direction. So, yeah. But when we stop and we just feel the touch of the sun, the touch of the wind, the touch of the colors in our eyes and the smells, and you know, it can also be a love bath.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it doesn't exclude enjoying time with someone or what looks like someone, but an expression of totality too.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a moment. I need to take a leak. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Yeah. Good love.
Thank you.
Hello, Isaac.
Can you just wave a
do.
hand? 1 second. I need to go back to the other screen then. Again, one more time. Wave.
Yeah,
wonderful. I see you. Perfect.
Very
Hi,
good.
Shampa.
Yeah.
Wanted to connect with you.
Thanks. Mhm.
Like the cells, really the cells are waking up to the meeting.
Mhm.
A little bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah, feels beautiful to me.
Okay. Sure.
Mm. Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. Heart kisses.
Yeah.
Iris would like to speak.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Iris. Yeah, I see the movement.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good
You,
evening.
it's evening, right?
Yeah, yeah. Out of time,
Yeah.
here and now. Hi, Akko.
Hi, Isaac.
Yeah. How do you sense the way our systems meet each other, Iris?
It's very interesting to see that well, in the beginning it seemed that somehow the screen does something to distract, and then it just got deeper and deeper and sweeter, and it was just like, you're absolutely here, I'm here, we're here. Problem at all.
It's amazing, huh?
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. No effort, just resting together and allowing. It's just the nervous system. There's no pressure to be any way, and then something just starts to deepen and caress each other. It's just.
And it's like little bubbles of tension bursting in my system and letting go.
I love it. I love it. Wow.
Oh. And it's so good to notice how this really makes no difference to meeting so-called live somewhere. Good.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, thank you, lovely.
Oh man. So grateful.
Yeah, me too.
Sweetheart. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Mm.
Hey, Isa.
Can you just wave hand again? Ah, Varesha, cool.
Mm. 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 I never felt you so deep.
Oh, all of us are going deeper, it seems, huh? Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks, Varisha.
Mm.
Roos?
Yes.
Ja.
Can you hear me?
Ja.
Ah, good.
I do hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you see me
Hi,
as well?
Russ.
Hi.
I see you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. It's so lovely to see you.
And you.
There's so much gratitude for, you know, everything.
Yeah. I mean, you know, to me, it's just, we've said it a million times, but it's like, you know, you can have everything, but if you don't know this, yeah.
Yeah. And it's gotten so much easier in the last year, I think, for me to go back to it.
Yeah, how beautiful. Yeah.
Such a relief. Feels like such a relief every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can let all shit go. Makes it much easier.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh. Celebrating in this love affair with beloveds. I mean, it doesn't get much better, in my view. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in the last year or so, it's also gotten so much clearer for me how to incorporate this in daily life, you could say, or it's not really like the way I speak it makes it sound like a doing, but it's something
I
that's
understand. I get the depth of what you're speaking. I understand. It's like finding that balance point of how being able to be in the flow of life, seeing that we don't have a clue what's going on, and at the same time
finding a way to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you spoke earlier about the vaccines, it's the way the immune system works. For me, it starts with in the womb, basically, through the placenta. I'm a midwife, so it's through the placenta, and then through breastfeeding the baby, where they get all the immune antibodies from the mother, and then and it's our little Lena for over 2 years. She was on my breast until she was done, and not until I was done. And it feels like such a gift to me and to her and to the universe to have done that. And it feels like it was such a decision made from that. Well, not really even a decision, but it felt like a doing coming from this
a deep knowing.
Yeah. And it's
honoring.
And it feels like you've been guiding me in that that sort of in a life that is based on decisions made from that deep knowing.
And
That feels
I'm
lovely.
really happy to hear that. Big love. Yeah. Lucky life.
Hello.
I see you.
Yes. Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hi. Greetings. You're so welcome to speak, and there's no need to just, we're sitting here just, and life is doing its dance with us. It's beautiful. So
I wanted to say that we've met once before. That was 4 years ago in Netherlands. In a small countryside. You came with Maaike. That was 4 or 5 years ago. It was my first satsang ever. Yes, and since then I was caught on this.
How lucky.
And it's funny how my mind tries to figure it all out and understand it, and how something starts to understand that it cannot be grasped with the mind. That's not this way. And it's quite it's unfolding. Funny how I had to ask so many questions, and maybe they will come back. I don't know, but funny how it seems like there's something that doesn't need these questions and the answers.
Yeah. So beautiful the way you speak.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yes, thank you for Eva, and for you and for everyone to be together and have this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Mm. Oh. Thank you.
Hello, Isaac. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just need to find you. Can you? Ah, great. Rainer, I see you. Mm. Hey, Rainer.
Joel?
I'm here.
Yes, there you are.
Hey.
Hey, Isaac.
Mm.
There's a lot of excitement. I'm trying to find words for something I would like to express, but it's somehow very difficult.
Okay.
There's this movement between tension and the impulse to go away, to hide, and on the other side a very strong longing and interest to meet you. And yeah, in the beginning of the meeting there was while you were like talking about your political opinion, I noticed in myself, like whenever there's something my mind agrees to, something relaxes in my system, and whenever there's something my mind doesn't agree with you, there's coming lots of stress and separation. And and the first impulse is to say something against or to defend myself, but I don't find it useful anymore.
Well, you speak so beautifully. Yeah.
So yeah, I now just try to express what is happening there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just beautiful.
And I'm very grateful now for the opportunity to speak it and also to show it in front of the whole community.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's a big gift.
It's a huge change actually that happened within me, because I was a really big defender in former times.
Well, some patented that. Yeah, I wouldn't even say it was you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went to demonstrations to fight and to I don't know. Somehow there was a need, but not anymore for the moment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Isaac, for receiving me.
Oh, thank you. Just exquisite. Thank you. So.
Sam,
Hi.
are you? Yes.
Yes, Isaac.
Hi, Sam. Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of time before we would have had our intensive in Cape Town.
I know, it's crazy, eh?
Yeah, so crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm finding whatever patterns I had before during the corona, now some of them are just intensifying, like the not being able to settle and the barrier, what feels like a barrier of the Zoom. There's so many Zoom calls and I feel so distracted, like I should be doing something or, you know, doing something else at the same time to maximize the time. And I just feel it here, like this fluttering, going so fast. And I just wanted to meet you and just to try and help my nervous system to settle.
Yes, let's see if we can meet without even that agenda. Just meeting and see what wants to happen by itself without any lean in any direction. Just hi Sam, just resting. Yeah.
It doesn't feel real. Like it looks like you're looking down. I don't know if you can see me. Like
You know, it's funny because, like, if I look in the screen into my camera like this, then it might look like I'm looking at you more. But on my screen, you're a little bit below the camera. So then when I look in your eyes, then it looks like I'm looking down. But to me, it feels like you're looking at me. I don't know why that is, but. But more than looking, it's like it's feeling. So for me, it's just like resting here and then.
I see that hand and I want to touch that hand.
You know what's far out is that we can imagine that we're holding hands, and it's almost, for the nervous system, it's very akin. The more you can imagine it and all the actual, as full as you can make that imagination, it registers almost the same to the nervous system as actually holding hands. So, yeah.
About 2 years ago, when I was at the Drakensberg retreat, I was speaking about my cat Freud, and I went into such a love space with him, and I could feel him, and it was like he was with me. That was my safe space. And recently he passed away after 20 years. And I can't, I can't feel him when I close my eyes or when I just try and go into the love with him. I don't feel him so much anymore now that he's not physically here. Whereas I feel like I had a stronger connection when he was alive, like the imagination was stronger. I could really, as you say, really, really feel it.
Do you have a knowing of what's deeper than all the movements and all the intentions and thoughts? And do you have some sense of that?
Now am I feeling that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling like
Yeah.
a permission to settle. Like I'm feeling like
Yeah.
you're seeing me and hearing me,
Mm.
and it's now safe to settle.
Beautiful.
It's been
Yeah.
really months
Beautiful.
of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. How beautiful.
Mm. It's like the settling that I can do on my own is in a deep meditation, but then that's shutting out the rest of the world.
I understand. And here the world is not shut out. I mean, it's, yeah. Yeah.
It feels a bit safer and a bit calmer.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear.
So how can I take this with me into my world? Should I maybe try and paint a picture of you? Look at you.
Yeah, you can, if you look, you can see that is a movement, a thought. You don't believe it. This is always here, Sam. This is always here. Acausal, you don't have to do anything for it. It's just here. It's, in a sense, just a gentle noticing of it. The moment there's an intention to settle or anything, like it's in the way of this, because it's louder than this. The sun's underneath everything. Thank you for meeting me so beautifully.
Thank you for meeting me.
And to you.
Hey, Isaac.
Hey, Esther. See?
Can I share something about kind of exploring? I look to the habit to put my attention on the things I don't like. It's like magnet, and yeah, then it feels that it in a way it's a kind of, yeah, it's automatic, because it feels like it comes from a place what's in a way for my system even more scary. So I was trying to look of what was that, what is that for kind of place. But then I came in a mind loop. But that it feels for me like I'm looking to that and that and that from a certain point. That's so scary to be that in a way, I have to look there to get a kind of holding or something. So I just, yeah. Or maybe it's just a mind loop, I don't know, but it is interesting. As if it's waiting for something to, more like, then I have something to hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you understand a little bit what I try to
for sure.
express?
Yeah. And for a moment, for one instant when there's nothing to hold on to, just here, what can we really hold on to? Thoughts come and go, feelings come and go. Consciousness comes and goes. We go in and out of consciousness. We go to deep sleep. We come out into waking state. What can we hold on to? Huh?
Yeah, well, it's the scary part.
Can we hold on to that scary part?
Yeah, that's also what I mean.
But can we actually hold on to it? Because at some point we go to sleep, yeah?
But that last one I don't understand.
We can't even hold on to the scary part because at some point we go to sleep.
Yeah. After many hours, then I fell asleep. Yeah, but it's nice time in the night to explore. But it is, I can feel now also I'm moving around.
Yeah. So what's moving around? Really your attention, right? Yeah. And there is awareness.
You mean aware of the attention, yeah.
That moving around of attention, yeah. And whatever that is, hard to say actually, yeah, but somehow that movement happens and it's noticed, it's seen.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like swimming around something, or less than something. And even that is a kind of holding on.
And what's it holding on to? And how long can it hold on?
Yeah, good question, I said. And then frustration comes in, like, oh, I'm still holding on something.
And truthfully, how long can we hold on? And what can we hold on to? And who holds on? Thanks, sister.
Thank you.
Mm.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Paul would like to speak.
Paul? Let me find
Yes.
Paul.
Paul, can you unmute yourself? Otherwise I can do it for you.
Ah, I see you, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello, Isaac.
Hi, Paul.
It's great to see you. Just love to spend a few moments with you.
Oh, so welcome.
You know, your smile just, oh, it's the best of all. You know, it's so beautiful. Love to spend the moments with you and with everyone else. It's just so sweet. And, you know, it feels like really, as you say, bizarre times. It's a bizarre movie that we're witnessing, but it's so funny. And I feel, I almost feel more at peace than ever before, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It just feels like the invitation to peace is even more profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I can sometimes be more at peace in the middle of a storm than if there's no wind. It's just interesting. So I'm also very grateful in the midst of everything else. Just so grateful.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Isaac.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah. So beautiful. And thank you, everyone.
So, Miss Del Mar, I'm not sure if that's correct name.
Yep,
Great.
Rebecca.
it's me. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Say one more time.
Hello, everyone, as well. I feel.
Hello, everyone. Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel very much what Paul was saying. A lot of the time, more at peace in the midst of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And feeling so much love really showing through in, you know, everywhere and everyone. That's all. I don't want to take too much time. I just wanted to say hello and to everyone.
Yum. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Isaac. I don't know. I didn't put myself on the list because but I don't know if it's okay if I speak. Oh,
Yes, it
that
is
was-
because there was no one on the list anymore. So then it's totally fine. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
How beautiful, hey? Worked perfectly.
I really resonated what Joel just said about if you hear your own opinion voiced, it's something relaxes in the system, and if it's a different opinion, this whole defending starts. And yeah, I could so see that happening in my system as well, and so often. And it feels like a tantrum, like a temper tantrum from a baby, like ah. And then that's the first stage, and the second stage is it just pulls back, and it's just like, oh, whatever, they don't get me anyway, never mind.
Yeah.
And just kind of resenting
I think
people for it.
Yeah, I think we all know that, those movements, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful to notice them without thinking there's anything wrong with it or that it should be different. Just those movements happen. And we hear.
Yeah,
And
it's
they welcome.
painful though sometimes.
Yeah, it is painful. It is.
Yeah.
What can we do?
Well, you have to solve it now.
You haven't lost your sense of humor.
Oh, I can also see my mind also switches on sometimes to look for people who agree with me on everything.
Yeah,
Quite difficult.
yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, it's curious too, because it's like, you know, agreement literally means mentally coming together.
Ah. Yeah.
So like our
Yeah.
our thoughts are aligned, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah. So, you know, like, and
yeah, that's
but where it gets really where it really gets activated is like where there's an opposing point of view that appears to like actually be a threat to us. Sometimes it's like, you know, oh yeah, I like that movie, I didn't like that movie. That's not such a big deal, you know. It's like, you know. But then, you know, like, what's your sense of climate change or something like that? And if someone doesn't agree there, then it feels like it has more oomph, because it's kind of like, wow, if we don't see the same on this, you know, then it affects my life in some ways that could be really
Yeah,
serious.
I can also see that sometimes here it's also really not threatening from a like mature perspective.
Yeah.
Like people assuming because I go to retreats that I agree with everything that's spiritual or whatever. And then I already feel like, oh, they don't get me.
Yeah. Yeah. And even what is
like,
that?
it's not a threat,
What is that?
Yeah. This idea of not being seen or heard or felt or wow, it's so good to just all these patterns that go on that just try to make other people get it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
And thank you, everyone. Even if my mind sometimes doesn't agree with your mind.
How beautiful that our minds can disagree and it doesn't affect the love flow at all.
No.
Oh,
So not important.
So not important, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll mute myself.
Hello, Isaac. I think it's my turn now.
Who's this?
Bettina.
Katerina?
Bettina.
Bettina. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Oh no. Sorry, Bettina, I pegged the wrong one. Now I see you. Oh,
Hi.
wonderful. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you too. Thank you all.
Mm. Mm.
Is it okay to come in?
Yes.
Hi, Isaac. Oh, I shall tell Eva that I don't like to be in the video and audio.
Okay. Okay. Let's take a few minutes just to be present with each other. And thank you, everybody, for showing up and keeping to explore. Hey, Jackie. Nice to see you. Yeah. So, over the next little while, from 7 till 9 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, I'm going to be doing Zoom meetings, and Mike is going to do work. You're most welcome to tune in anytime. And
Yeah, so these meetings, you don't have to register anymore. So the details, the Zoom details are either on Isaac's website or on Mike's website, and also on Facebook and in the email. If you were on the email list, you have received it via email. And in Australia, yeah, in Byron it is at 7 p.m. and in Europe it's at 11 a.m. Thank you.
I just would like to thank Eva for all your work. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Eva.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Wow.
Thank you, Isaac.
Oh, so welcome and thank you, everybody. Wow. It's funny, you know, I come from a very big family. Most of, many of whom I have never met and know, and somehow they decided to do a Zoom meeting right after this. So I'm going to move into a very different field. I'm curious how that'll be. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Love, love, and more love.